I spent a lot of last week helping a number of my clients prepare for board interviews, and we really do take quite a rigorous approach towards board director interviews because they have become increasingly complex. And what we're finding at the moment is boards are, really changing up the way they're recruiting board members. No longer do they just have a simple kind of meeting between the individual and maybe the nomination committee. We're seeing increasingly the number of meetings step up, the number of interviews step up, and we're finding that you're interviewing with a number of different parties, and hence you've really got to think about your pitch and how you're going to present your experience in the very best possible way. Without a shadow of a doubt, there definitely are always some core themes. Boards will always want to know, what do you know about their organisation? Why do you want to join that board? What do you believe you can bring to the table? And they are going to assume at this level that you have made some very educated guesses about what that organisation is dealing with. They're not going to serve it up on a silver platter to you. So they're not going to tell you all of their problems. They're going to expect you to come to the table with a really good read on what's going on in that organisation's industry, what some of the key issues could be, what's basically keeping that board awake at night. And that's one of the main themes. When I'm preparing people for board interview, I'm constantly asking, what do you think's keeping the board awake at night? What do you think's worrying the board? The next element is I'm always asking people, well, what do you think the challenges are or the opportunities are for this organisation going forward? So really trying to get into the mindset of almost like a SWOT. Where is that organisation headed? Where are the threats? Where's the disruption happening? What are the opportunities? How are they performing? Where are they on the spectrum? And where could they go in the future, if everything was flowing in the right direction? So you've really got to take a very much a mindset of, second guessing, thinking, making educated guesses when you're doing your preparation. You must go above and beyond preparation. So we do see too many people, especially senior executives, think that they can wing the recruitment process. And of course you can't. You have to be well informed. You have to have done your due diligence, and you've got to be using the interview as part of your due diligence process, confirming key information to you and ascertaining if you really want to go forward and work with that organisation and join that board. I think one of the key things you also want to do is you want to ask really good questions in that board recruitment process, but you've got to be very careful and think about the timing of those questions, and you don't want to sort of, turn the interview around and you be the person doing all the talking and all the questioning, but you do want to look for opportunities to turn it into a peer-to-peer conversation where you can ask some key questions. And again, if you've done your research, you're going to be able to hone in on the questions that are going to really help you get informed and decide, again, if this is the right organisation for you. We do see also, curveball questions. So, we're going to see, if you haven't done the preparation, that you're more likely to get really challenged in a recruitment process. We have also seen as a trend, more often than not, people being asked to do some form of a presentation or being asked to write some form of a board paper. I think a lot of boards are getting wise to the fact that a lot of people can talk a good talk, but reality might be a little bit different. And so you're increasingly going to see people trying to really establish how do you operate in reality. And so they might get you to come back to the board and do a presentation. We've had that happen on strategy and to come back, show us what you think would be a good way to go forward, and testing out people's ideas, how they think, how they put things together. Now that's a big challenge to do. It's a big time commitment, but increasingly this is the sort of thing you're going to see happen that will have a big impact on whether you sort of progress in the interview process. Now obviously they don't ask everyone to do that on day one, but obviously if the conversations progress and they want to bring you into the boardroom, it's not uncommon for this to be requested of you. So my key themes here are: you do need to prep. You should really be engaging with an external party to help you prepare properly for that interview. If you've been for board interviews and you're finding that you're not getting the positions and you're not being made the offers, you absolutely need to think about your presentation skills and how you're prepping for interviews, and really go back to basics and get that genuine preparation time with an external party who can give you the honest feedback so that you can calibrate your messages. And I think you want to make educated guesses. There's no point being a wallflower in these meetings. You really want to, make a few educated guesses, say a few controversial things. Don't be afraid to speak your mind. It would be better not to get the position because they don't like, the way you operate, rather than find this out later. Sometimes it's better during the recruitment process to really be very, very frank and honest with each other. But you do need to be prepared. You do need to be polished. You do need to be, really professional. It does make a difference, and it will help you stand out as a candidate to be considered. Regardless of how the whole process goes, you want to go in with the mindset that this is an incredible opportunity to forge relationships, and you want to walk away with everyone having had a good professional experience with you, and these become connections for life, going forward. So regardless of the outcome. So you do want to obviously prepare, but, sort of have that real mindset of networking and forging deep, meaningful relationships with other chairs and board directors in the market.